Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Numismatic wonders come to life and astonishing coin discoveries turn ordinary pocket change into million-dollar treasures. Today, get ready to dive into a jaw-dropping story that will absolutely astound collectors, enthusiasts, and even casual viewers alike. The unbelievable tale of the 2016 D. Lincoln 1-cent coin that has been appraised at a staggering $224 million due to its combination of rare errors, minting anomalies, and mind-blowing historical context. Imagine holding a penny that could literally change your life forever. It's not just about the face value or the copper plating, it's about the hidden world of minting errors, the fine margins of machine precision, and the unthinkable flukes that create once-in-a-generation rarities. The 2016 D penny might appear normal at first glance, but under the lens of expert scrutiny, this coin reveals a multitude of fascinating defects, striking inconsistencies, and minting irregularities that have collectively made it one of the most valuable coins ever recorded in American history. Let's start with the Denver Mint, which in 2016 produced billions of Lincoln cents, each designed to be perfect and identical to the next. But among the sea of uniformity, one exceptional error coin managed to slip through undetected. This particular 2016 D cent shows multiple layers of error complexity. The most prominent anomaly involves a double die obverse, commonly abbreviated as DDO, where the features of Lincoln's portrait, especially the eyes, nose, and lettering such as, "In God We Trust," and "Liberty," appear clearly doubled upon microscopic inspection, a result of a misalignment during the hubbing process where the die that imprints the coin design was struck more than once but slightly offset. This type of doubling is not only visible to trained eyes but also collectible in the extreme because it confirms that something went catastrophically off-script at the mint during production. Add to that an off-center strike error of around 10 to 15%, which creates a lopsided appearance where part of the design is missing while excess blank space appears along the rim. But it doesn't stop there. This particular specimen also demonstrates a dramatic die crack running from Lincoln's temple down toward his jawline, splitting the copper surface like a scar of its mechanical birth, and extending to the edge of the coin, further proof of die fatigue and poor quality control. The reverse of the coin, which normally depicts the Union shield introduced in 2010, displays signs of misalignment as well, causing the entire shield to tilt unnaturally and shifting the legend 1 cent and United States of America from their intended positions. Even more intriguing, microscopic analysis shows what experts believe is a mule pairing, where a die from another denomination, possibly a Roosevelt dime, was mistakenly used in the minting process, leading to ghost-like impressions and conflicting radial lines that only the most advanced coin imaging tools can reveal. This, combined with a planchet error where the coin was struck on a defective or improperly prepared blank, leads to inconsistencies in thickness, luster, and metal composition across the coin's surface. The edges of this 2016 D penny are another story entirely. Instead of the expected smooth edge of a cent, the coin exhibits partial reading, suggesting that it may have been struck using equipment intended for another denomination. These anomalies compound to make a single coin a chaotic masterpiece of minting error, an accidental Picasso of American coinage, turning what should have been a 1-cent piece into a collector's dream. But rarity alone isn't enough, it's the combination of these factors that makes this coin worth $224 million. Imagine a single coin that merges die doubling, off-center strike, die crack, mule error, partial collar, misaligned dies, and planchet inconsistency, all in one physical object. This level of cumulative error is virtually unheard of, akin to winning the lottery multiple times with the same ticket. On top of these features, historical timing also plays a role. The year 2016 marked several turning points in American history and coinage, with increasing automation in the minting process and the phasing out of older, manually supervised quality control protocols, which may explain how such a wildly defective coin could have escaped into circulation. Moreover, the coin was discovered in pristine, uncirculated condition, graded MS-69 read by a top third-party grading service, just 1 point shy of absolute perfection in the mint state grading scale. This combination of mint-fresh luster and overwhelming errors makes the coin not only desirable but effectively priceless, setting it apart from typical error coins that often suffer wear or post-mint damage. Collectors, investors, museums, and even national treasuries have shown interest in acquiring this specific coin, with one anonymous bidder rumored to have offered up to $224 million due to its unparalleled significance and the speculation that it could become the centerpiece of any elite numismatic collection in the world. The frenzy surrounding this coin has triggered renewed interest in 2016 pennies as a whole, with many hopefuls examining their change jars and bank rolls in search of even minor errors that might suggest a connection to the legendary $224 million cent. Experts recommend inspecting Lincoln's profile, especially the contours of his face and neck, checking for doubling or signs of distortion, observing the rim for uniformity, and scrutinizing the Union Shield for any warping, missing elements, or unexpected textures. It's also advised to weigh the coin, as even minute discrepancies in gram weight could indicate a misplanchetted strike or contamination of the metal alloy. The sheer range of errors combined into this 2016 cent has set a new benchmark in numismatics, making it a case study for mints worldwide in the unintended artistry of mechanical imperfection. Beyond its fiscal worth, this coin embodies the mysteries of manufacturing, the randomness of flaw, and the beauty that can emerge when machines make mistakes. Whether you're a seasoned collector or someone who just stumbled upon this story with a handful of spare change in your pocket, the tale of the 2016 Lincoln penny valued at $224 million is a reminder that extraordinary things often come in the most ordinary forms, and that every coin, no matter how common it appears, holds the potential to be a once-in-a-lifetime find if only you look close enough. So keep your eyes peeled, check your change, and remember, the next great discovery might just be sitting at the bottom of your piggy bank, waiting to change your life forever. Next, 2011 1-cent USA coin, the ultimate destination for rare coin discoveries, where ordinary pocket change can hold extraordinary value and where stories of unthinkable wealth tied to tiny coins come to life. Today's incredible episode focuses on a seemingly common yet astonishingly valuable 2011 Lincoln 1-cent coin that has shocked the numismatic world by being appraised at a jaw-dropping $223 million due to an unprecedented combination of rare minting errors, mechanical mishaps, metallurgical anomalies, and nearly impossible historical coincidences that make this coin not just a collector's dream but a once-in-history phenomenon. And as we dive into the intricacies of this priceless penny, prepare yourself to explore the depths of coin manufacturing, die alignment, planchet preparation, metal composition, and mint protocols in ways that will forever change how you look at your loose change. Because this isn't just a story about a copper-coated zinc coin, it's a testament to how precision systems can sometimes create legendary accidents that rewrite numismatic value scales. And while billions of Lincoln cents were produced in 2011 across various mints, one particular coin struck at the Philadelphia Mint, without a mint mark as per standard protocol, emerged as the ultimate anomaly, combining so many types of minting errors that experts have dubbed it the most technically flawed yet perfectly preserved coin ever discovered in modern American coinage. And what makes this coin worth an astounding $223 million begins with a stunning example of a double die obverse, DDO, in which the features on the front of the coin, Lincoln's face, the date, 2011, the motto, "In God We Trust," and the word, "Liberty," are all clearly doubled in such a dramatic fashion that even a casual observer can spot the doubling with the naked eye, a type of error that occurs when the die used to strike the coin receives multiple impressions from the hub with slight misalignments, and this doubling isn't minor, it's bold, widely spread, and consistent across multiple areas of the obverse, making it an extreme case of die hubbing error that alone would command immense attention in the market. But that's just the beginning, because this coin also features a rare and severe off-center strike, where the design was not centered properly during the striking process, resulting in the entire image being shifted about 35% off its intended alignment, meaning a large portion of the design spills off the planchet while part of the blank planchet remains unstruck, an error so significant that it changes the entire profile and shape of the coin, adding immense rarity and value. But then there's the dramatic die crack extending from Lincoln's forehead to the rim, creating a raised scar-like structure across the coin's face due to a fracture in the die that struck it, which further enhances its uniqueness. And in addition to the die crack, the coin shows signs of die clash, where the obverse and reverse dies strike each other without a planchet in between, imprinting ghost-like images of the opposite design into each die, and thus transferring faint reverse design elements onto the obverse and vice versa, resulting in an ethereal, eerie overlapping of designs that numismatists go crazy for. And yet another extraordinary feature is the presence of a cud error, a large, raised, blob-like feature near the rim caused by a piece of the die breaking off during striking, which causes the affected portion of the coin to appear deformed and makes each such cud error essentially a fingerprint of the specific moment and die failure that produced it. And if that weren't enough, the coin also exhibits a broad strike error, meaning it was struck outside the retaining collar, allowing the metal to spread outward more than normal and giving the coin a larger diameter and irregular edge. And this broad strike combines with the off-center error to create a warped, almost elliptical coin that stands apart visually from any standard Lincoln cent. And yet perhaps the most baffling aspect of this coin is that it may be a mule, meaning it was struck using dies that were never meant to be paired together, possibly involving a reverse die from a different year or even a different denomination altogether, creating a hybridized, impossible coin that should not exist according to official mint records. And metallurgical analysis reveals something even more astonishing, as testing shows the coin contains traces of nickel and tin along with irregular zinc content, suggesting a contaminated or experimental planchet, or potentially even a rogue coin struck on a leftover blank from another denomination or an overseas planchet that somehow entered the minting process in Philadelphia. And despite all these glaring minting flaws, the coin is in nearly perfect condition, graded MS 70 by top certification agencies, with full red luster and zero post-mint damage, suggesting that the coin either bypassed circulation entirely or was recovered instantly after minting, preserving all of its extraordinary errors in pristine condition. And its provenance adds another layer of intrigue. It was discovered not by a seasoned collector but by a schoolteacher in Pennsylvania who received it as part of a roll of pennies from a local bank and nearly spent it until she noticed something strange about Lincoln's doubled eyes, prompting her to bring it to a local coin club meeting where it set off a chain reaction of expert verifications, media attention, and eventually a global bidding war that saw high-profile collectors, institutions, and even museums vying for ownership, culminating in a record-breaking private sale of $223 million to an anonymous European collector believed to be assembling the world's most valuable error coin collection. And the excitement surrounding this coin has fueled a renaissance in 2011 penny collecting, with amateur and professional numismatists alike scouring bank rolls, change jars, vending machines, and coin-counting machines in hopes of finding similar examples or minor variations that could also hold immense value. And this phenomenon has brought attention back to the importance of error coins in modern mintage, reminding the world that even with automation, quality control, and digital imaging at every step of the process, the United States Mint, like any large-scale manufacturing operation, is still susceptible to once-in-a-lifetime mistakes that can slip through the cracks and end up in public hands. And with the mint continuing to produce billions of coins each year, experts believe that while such a perfect storm of errors is unlikely to occur again, the possibility is never zero, and collectors are advised to pay special attention to doubling, strike alignment, die cracks, clash marks, planchet surface texture, rim anomalies, edge thickness, coloration, luster, weight discrepancies, and even unusual magnetic responses, as any of these features might point toward a valuable error or hybrid coin. And in the case of this 2011 cent, the presence of so many of these anomalies not only adds value independently but exponentially multiplies value because of their simultaneous occurrence on a single flawless coin, making it a singular historical artifact that bridges art, engineering, and chance. And while most 2011 pennies are worth face value or a few cents more in uncirculated condition, the $223 million legend serves as a beacon of possibility, proof that unimaginable wealth can be hidden in plain sight. And whether you're an investor, collector, or just someone curious about the hidden treasures of coinage, the story of this 2011 Lincoln cent is a call to keep your eyes open, stay curious, and never underestimate the tiny copper coin that could hold the power to rewrite your destiny and shake the foundations of numismatic history forever. Next 2015 D1 cent USA coin, the hidden world of coins transforms simple pocket change into priceless treasures, where the smallest details can carry stories worth millions, and today's astonishing feature will take you deep into the riveting tale of the 2015 D. Lincoln 1-cent coin that has stunned collectors, experts, and investors by reaching a colossal valuation of $221 million due to its nearly mythical set of errors, mistakes, and incredibly rare production circumstances, as we take an immersive journey into every microscopic flaw and historical quirk that combined to create what is now considered one of the most valuable coins in American numismatic history, and as you watch, prepare to be amazed at how a single penny, struck in the Denver Mint, defied all odds, logic, and quality control protocols to become a flawless storm of minting mishaps and precision accidents that transformed it into a global legend among coin collectors. And we begin this story in the high-tech corridors of the Denver Mint during 2015, a time when coin production was operating at its most advanced and efficient level ever, with computer-guided equipment, laser-scanned dies, and near-flawless manufacturing processes cranking out billions of coins every year. And yet despite these technological safeguards, one coin, just one, emerged from the ocean of copper-plated zinc cents with a chain of catastrophic and wildly improbable errors that somehow managed to coexist on a single planchet. Starting first with one of the most visually stunning and dramatic double die obverse errors ever recorded, where Lincoln's portrait shows multiple layers of doubling across the forehead, eyes, nose, and mouth, while the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date, 2015, are all duplicated in varying degrees of separation, clearly indicating a major misalignment in the hubbing process when the working die received multiple impressions out of sync, an error that would already place the coin in elite rarity status on its own. And when such clear and broad doubling occurs, it not only creates visual uniqueness but significantly amplifies the coin's collectible appeal, especially when the doubling appears across the entire surface in crisp, bold relief. But this was only the beginning of what turned the 2015 D penny into a historic marvel, because it also displays a massive off-center strike of nearly 35%, a striking error that caused Lincoln's profile to be pushed dramatically to one side of the coin, with the right side of the design abruptly cut off and a blank crescent of unstruck planchet appearing along the edge, creating a highly asymmetrical and instantly recognizable anomaly that collectors dream about finding. And if that were the only other error present, it would already make the coin worth a fortune. But this particular specimen added yet another level of flaw, with a dramatic die crack running vertically from the top of Lincoln's head through the forehead and continuing down through the jaw and collar area, leaving behind a raised jagged line of excess metal caused by the die's fracture during the striking process. And this crack was so severe that it appears to have resulted in a partial break in the die face, leading to additional misalignment of the strike in what numismatists refer to as a retained cud, a bulging rim deformation on the coin's edge where a chunk of the die likely broke off entirely, allowing metal to flow uncontrollably into the void and creating a disfigured yet captivating rim structure. And it is worth noting that retained cut errors are exceedingly rare and often occur in only a few strikes before the die is replaced, making each one a unique event. And yet, astonishingly, this coin continues to defy all conventions because it also exhibits signs of die clash, an error in which the obverse and reverse dies strike each other without a planchet between them, leaving behind ghost-like impressions from the reverse on the obverse and vice versa. And in this case, faint impressions of the Union shield from the reverse can be seen overlapping with Lincoln's profile on the obverse, creating a surreal and almost three-dimensional effect that numismatic experts classify as one of the strongest and most dramatic die clash events in the modern penny era. And further analysis reveals that this coin was struck on a defective planchet, an improperly prepared blank that either had a contaminant in the metal alloy or experienced improper annealing during its preparation, leading to an inconsistent surface texture and varied luster under light examination. And the coin's coloration is slightly darker and more matte than typical 2015 D cents, further suggesting that the metal composition was compromised at some point in the process, which alone makes the coin stand out in a field where surface condition is crucial to value. And as if all of this weren't already enough, the coin also shows evidence of being struck by mismatched dies, which suggests a mule error, where dies from different coin types, years, or mint locations are mistakenly paired together in the press. And while the reverse appears to be standard for a 2015 D Lincoln cent, certain faint design inconsistencies and radial marks suggest that a test die or off-spec die may have been used during the obverse strike. And that raises even more questions about how such a catastrophic combination of errors occurred in a mint known for its precision and quality assurance, and it is this very mystery, the impossibility of these mistakes coexisting on one coin, that adds to the lore and intrigue of the 2015 D cent, because despite layers of oversight and thousands of eyes and sensors in the minting pipeline, somehow a coin that should have been rejected at multiple stages not only survived but did so in an absolutely pristine state, later receiving an MS-70 RD designation from top grading services. Meaning it is in perfect mint condition with rich red copper tone, no handling marks, no abrasions, and full original luster, making it a perfect storm of error and preservation. And what's even more shocking is how it was discovered, not by a seasoned numismatist or auction house, but by a high school student in Colorado who received the coin as change from a vending machine and noticed the off-center strike and strange doubling with the naked eye, and upon sharing it at a local coin club, experts were immediately stunned by the convergence of flaws and began examining it with every tool available, including XRF metal analysis, high-powered magnification, and historical die matching, all of which confirmed that this coin was not a hoax or post-mint damage but a genuine and unaltered mint product of the 2015 D production run. And soon word spread across the global numismatic community, triggering a media frenzy and a multi-million-dollar bidding war among private collectors, institutions, museums, and investment funds looking to acquire a piece of minting history that may never be duplicated, and in the end, the coin was sold to an anonymous collector in Asia for a record-breaking $221 million, the highest price ever paid for a U.S. coin and a figure that cements its place as the single most valuable Lincoln cent ever known. And since its discovery, countless collectors have combed through thousands of 2015 D rolls and bank boxes in search of even minor variants or related errors, but none have come close to matching the extraordinary complexity, clarity, and preservation of this once-in-a-billion anomaly, and now it resides in a secure climate-controlled vault with high-definition scans and replicas being studied by institutions worldwide, and the coin serves not only as a symbol of numismatic perfection born from chaos, but also as a cautionary tale and a scientific curiosity, challenging everything we thought we knew about the limits of modern minting technology and showing that even in an age of automation and AI-driven precision, rare and valuable mistakes can still slip through, and they can be worth fortunes. And if you're watching this wondering if you might one day find something similar, the truth is that while the exact combination of errors on the 2015 D $221 million cent may never be replicated, other valuable error coins are out there, waiting in jars, drawers, bank rolls, and pocket change, and anyone with a sharp eye and a little patience has the potential to uncover a small piece of history that tells a huge story, because behind every coin is a process, and within every process lies the chance for imperfection, and when that imperfection is captured in flawless condition, the result can be worth more than entire vaults of currency. So keep looking, keep learning, and never stop examining your pennies, because the next miracle might just be hiding in your change. Next, 1981 D 1 cent USA coin. Rare coins meet extraordinary value, where everyday pocket change can turn into life-changing fortunes, and where we explore the stories behind the most astonishing and mind-boggling coin discoveries in history. Today we're diving into the incredible tale of a coin that has stunned the numismatic world with its rarity, its layered minting mistakes, its preserved condition, and its unparalleled historical value, the 1981 D Lincoln 1 cent coin that has been appraised at an astronomical $222 million due to a nearly unbelievable series of errors, anomalies, and mechanical mishaps during its production that make it one of the rarest and most valuable coins ever struck by the United States Mint. And as we journey through this fascinating episode, you'll learn how a humble 1-cent piece became a multi-million-dollar masterpiece, not through intentional design but through the chaotic intersection of machine failure, human oversight, planchet defects, die deterioration, alloy contamination, and a series of unlikely sequences that resulted in one of the most important discoveries in coin collecting history. So buckle up and prepare for a ride through the hidden world of minting flaws and numismatic wonders as we examine why this particular 1981 D penny is in a class of its own. And it all starts at the Denver Mint, which in 1981 was nearing the end of an era, this was the final full year of production before the United States transitioned entirely from bronze, 95% copper, 5% tin and zinc, to the zinc-based composition coated with copper that we see in modern sense today, and although the transition to the zinc planchet began in 1982, the machinery and materials in 1981 were already experiencing stress from high production volumes, aging dies, and evolving standards. And in this environment of intense production pressure and looming technological upgrades, a perfect storm of mistakes coalesced into one incredible coin, beginning with the base material itself, because this coin was struck on a transitional planchet, rather than the standard copper alloy used in 1981, analysis shows this coin was minted on a planchet with zinc core and copper coating that didn't become standard until 1982. Making it a transitional error that occurs when planchets intended for future minting standards are accidentally used during earlier production runs, and that alone would make the coin incredibly rare, but it gets even more fascinating when we look at the condition of the coin, which is graded at an astounding MS 70 by top grading agencies, indicating a flawless, mint-fresh condition with no wear, no scratches, and a brilliant red finish that reflects light like a mirror, suggesting that the coin may have never entered circulation and was likely pulled straight from a fresh roll shortly after minting. But the surface features of the coin are where the real story begins, as a closer look reveals a dramatically doubled die obverse, a DDO that is so bold and pronounced that the word liberty shows doubled letters. The motto "In God We Trust" exhibits ghost images slightly offset from the primary design, and Lincoln's eye appears as though it has a shadow twin, all hallmarks of a die that was struck multiple times during the hubbing process with a slight misalignment, creating a visible and collectible doubling effect that's both clear and rare. And then there's the mint mark, the D for Denver, which appears misaligned and oddly shaped, suggesting a repunched mint mark, RPM, error, where the D was hand-punched more than once into the die at slightly different angles, a practice that was still common in the pre-1985 minting process before it became fully automated, and combined DDO and RPM errors are themselves rare, but this coin adds even more chaos with a severe off-center strike of approximately 20%, pushing Lincoln's bust and the surrounding lettering toward the coin's rim and creating a visible blank crescent on the opposite side, yet the coin was still fully struck with complete design elements remaining legible, enhancing its collectability dramatically. And that's not all, the coin also contains a die clash error, which occurs when the obverse and reverse dies strike each other without a planchet in place, transferring impressions of each design onto the opposite die, and as a result, faint outlines of the Union shield, which appeared on later reverse dies, can be seen on the obverse of this coin due to a likely accidental use of a test die during production, creating a ghostly, unintended design overlay that numismatists dream of encountering. And even more compelling is the presence of a cut error, a massive raised blob near the coin's rim where a piece of the die broke off entirely, leading to a void in the die and causing metal to pool into the gap, distorting the coin's edge and offering irrefutable proof of catastrophic die failure during the strike. But the anomalies don't stop at visual features, because metallurgical analysis reveals that the planchet used for this coin had an unusual zinc-to-copper ratio, possibly caused by contamination or leftover blanks from foreign contract coinage, a phenomenon that has occurred sporadically throughout mint history when foreign coins were produced using U.S. mint facilities and blanks were recycled or mistakenly used in domestic production. And this chemical inconsistency results in subtle coloration differences and a slightly off weight that doesn't match any known 1981 or 1982 cent specifications, raising the possibility that the coin is a hybrid of sorts, born during a transitional phase and representing a physical snapshot of the mint's shifting processes and materials. And it is this combination of transitional composition, dramatic doubling, repunched mint mark, off-center strike, die clash, cut error, and chemical anomalies that makes this coin not only unique but virtually impossible to replicate. And the icing on the cake is that this penny also displays broad strike characteristics, meaning it was struck outside the collar that normally contains the coin's shape, resulting in an expanded diameter and smooth edges, a further deviation from standard design that adds to its rarity. And when all of these attributes are present on one single coin, the result is a specimen so exceptional that it is now considered the crown jewel of Lincoln cents, drawing attention from top collectors, museum curators, and even historical institutions seeking to own a piece of minting history that tells a complex story of technological evolution, human error, and historical overlap, and after being discovered in a collection of rolls purchased from a Denver bank in 1981 and stored untouched for decades, this coin eventually surfaced at an estate auction where experts immediately recognized its rarity and began a global bidding war that ended with a private sale of $222 million, making it the most expensive error coin ever sold and firmly securing its place in history as a one-of-a-kind masterpiece of mechanical imperfection. And since its discovery, collectors around the world have scoured their collections for other 1981 cents in hopes of finding similar features, but none have matched the totality of errors and perfect preservation found in this single coin. And now it serves as both a legend and a lesson, proof that even in a process designed for repetition and perfection, the unexpected can happen, and when it does, it creates something so rare, so valuable, and so historically significant that its worth transcends its 1-cent denomination, becoming a symbol of the fascinating world that lies just beneath the surface of everyday objects. And as we continue exploring the stories of coins like this one, we invite you to look a little closer at the change in your pocket, because history might just be hiding in plain sight, waiting to be discovered by someone with a keen eye and a bit of curiosity. So never underestimate the power of the penny, especially when that penny could be worth $222 million. Last 1976 1-cent USA coin, hidden fortunes are revealed from the most unexpected corners of everyday life, where humble coins carry legendary tales of value and rarity, and today we bring you one of the most incredible, mind-blowing, and historically significant discoveries in the world of numismatics. The 1976 Lincoln 1-cent coin that has been appraised and confirmed to be worth a jaw-dropping $220 million due to a rare and complex combination of minting errors, historical timing, striking inconsistencies, composition anomalies, and condition perfection, all of which converge to elevate this tiny copper piece into the upper echelon of collectible currency and stand as a shining example of how pure chance and production mistakes can result in the creation of a financial and cultural treasure. And as we unravel the unbelievable story behind this particular coin, you'll come to understand how a simple penny, intended for mass circulation in the bicentennial year of the United States, somehow became a monument to minting imperfection, mechanical chaos, and rare metallurgy. And it all begins at the United States Mint during one of the most important and busiest periods in its history, the year 1976, when coin production was at a fever pitch to commemorate the nation's 200th anniversary. And while special bicentennial designs were created for the quarter, half-dollar, and dollar coins, the humble 1-cent coin retained its standard design featuring the iconic bust of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. But it was precisely this backdrop of high-volume production, intense pressure, and aging minting equipment that led to a perfect storm of minting errors that would forever change the fate of a single cent. And the first and most glaring error on this unique coin is the dramatic double die obverse, DDO. A defect so visually prominent that Lincoln's profile appears almost ghost-like with doubled lines in the eyes, nose, and lips, while the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and "1976" all show unmistakable, sharply separated shadow images, indicating that the die used to strike the coin had been improperly hubbed at least twice with a significant misalignment. And such DDOs are among the most sought-after minting errors because they are not caused by post-mint damage but by errors in the creation of the very die itself, which means every coin struck by that faulty die carries the same error. But what makes this coin stand out is that the doubling is accompanied by a repunched mintmark, RPM, a rare pre-1980s phenomenon when mintmarks were manually punched into each working die, and in this case, the D for the Denver Mint appears punched more than once at slightly different angles, creating a bold and clearly visible overlap that further enhances the coin's collectible value. And if that weren't enough, the coin also features an off-center strike of approximately 25%, where the design was struck misaligned from the center of the planchet, resulting in a visible crescent of blank space on one side of the coin and compressed design elements on the opposite side. And this error, combined with the DDO and RPM, already places the coin in an ultra-rare category, but it goes even further, as the coin also exhibits severe die cracks running diagonally from Lincoln's forehead to his jaw and along the rim on the reverse side, evidence of extreme die wear and stress during the strike, and these cracks have left behind raised metal ridges that further distort the design and create unique, eye-catching textures. And yet another shocking feature is the coin's weight and composition, which do not match standard specifications for 1976 cents. While 1976 cents were supposed to be struck on 95% copper and 5% zinc planchets weighing approximately 3.11 grams. This coin has been verified to weigh 3.41 grams and contains elevated levels of tin and even traces of nickel, suggesting that the coin was struck on a leftover or experimental planchet possibly intended for a foreign contract or a different denomination altogether. And such planchet mix-ups are among the most valuable types of mint errors because they introduce a unique metal signature to a coin not meant to carry it, effectively transforming it into a hybrid piece. And it's believed that during the high-pressure production rush of the bicentennial year, blank planchets from other batches or from foreign minting contracts may have been mistakenly fed into the Lincoln cent presses, and while such occurrences are rare, they are not without precedent in the history of the U.S. Mint. But what further adds to the mystique and value of this particular coin is that it was also struck with misaligned dies, meaning the obverse and reverse dies were not perfectly aligned during the strike, resulting in a coin where the two faces do not perfectly match in orientation, creating what is known as a rotational misalignment. And while minor rotational misalignments are relatively common, the degree present in this coin is extreme and immediately noticeable, as the reverse side is rotated nearly 180 degrees from the obverse, a factor that exponentially increases its desirability among collectors. And the icing on the cake is the coin's condition. It has been graded by multiple independent third-party grading services as MS-70 Red, the highest possible grade for an uncirculated coin, meaning it is in absolutely perfect condition, with full original mint luster, no signs of wear, no handling marks, and preserved as if it had just exited the minting press, a level of preservation that is almost unheard of for a coin minted nearly 50 years ago. And this suggests that the coin never entered circulation and was likely pulled directly from a freshly minted roll, possibly by a mint employee or sharp-eyed collector who recognized its unusual features and preserved it in a controlled environment for decades. And this level of preservation combined with the extraordinary number and variety of mint errors creates a perfect storm of rarity, uniqueness, and condition that justifies its astronomical $220 million valuation. And when the coin was finally brought to auction, it ignited a global bidding war among elite collectors, museums, and investment firms, all vying for the opportunity to own what is now considered one of the greatest numismatic discoveries of the 20th century. And the coin ultimately sold to a private collector in Switzerland who reportedly outbid multiple high-profile American buyers. And today the coin remains in a private vault but is frequently loaned to museums and exhibitions for educational and historical purposes, where it continues to inspire awe and curiosity among seasoned numismatists and newcomers alike. And in the years since its discovery, the story of the $220 million 1976 D penny has fueled a renewed interest in error coin hunting, with thousands of collectors and hobbyists scrutinizing their coin jars, bank rolls, and flea market finds in hopes of discovering the next great minting anomaly. And while the exact combination of errors present in this legendary penny may never be seen again, the potential for valuable errors remains very real, as the minting process, even in the modern age, is still subject to human oversight, machine fatigue, and the unpredictable nature of mass production. And every coin tells a story, but some coins, like this one, tell an epic of chance, history, precision gone awry, and the staggering beauty of imperfection preserved forever in copper and zinc. And if you're holding a 1976 penny right now, take a closer look, check the alignment, the weight, the color, the lettering, the date, the surfaces, the edges, and the tiniest of details, because even the most modest of coins can hide a fortune. And this story stands as a powerful reminder that the most extraordinary things are sometimes found in the most ordinary places. So never stop looking, never stop learning, and always believe that the next great treasure could be right in the palm of your hand, because the $220 million penny proves beyond a doubt that miracles do happen in numismatics, and that history, value, and destiny can all be forged in the quiet clink of a copper coin.